What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this is not me continuing to show you how to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 in Minecraft. This is part 35. And in this one, we're already finishing off this little ramp way. But we're actually doing this one last. We're starting with the end room here. And that'll just leave us with card corridors and the segment will be done. Crazy. But yeah, anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial. And I will catch you on the flip side. Alright, so as I mentioned, we're going to be starting by finishing this rather than doing the card corridors, just so we can confirm that everything is correct dimension-wise. Now, I actually think it's going to make sense and be in our best interest to, rather than finishing this, make the final room and then essentially just backtrack our way through the rest of Whack-A-Wuggy, and yeah, that'll kind of pretty much get us what we want, hopefully. So you want to head down to this doorway here in the cyan terracotta at the bottom of the little track. And you want to start off by getting out the following materials. Cyan terracotta. Monster spawners, or I don't know why they're called mob spawners with slash fill. I've had that throw me off a couple of times. Polished basalt. Stone. Stone stairs. Stone slabs. Black concrete might be beneficial. Mangrove planks will definitely be beneficial. And is there like anything else that makes sense? Maybe iron bars, maybe. We'll go with them for now. So you want to start off in this area here, and you want to just kind of fill in the doorway another block in with monster spawners. It should be between the cyan terracotta like so. The other thing is, you should add an additional row of cyan terracotta at the top of the doorway here to make it a 4x4. That'll kind of be more important later because it does actually mean our walls are a block too tall, but that's not a bad thing. And you'll see why later. It's not really important yet. So I would advise taking the cyan terracotta here on the right side of the opening and extending it down by 1 here so it's in line with the monster spawners. You then want to extend it over. I love how I just don't have this number. By 20. And you should end up like halfway through the hole about that's over there. You'll then actually head towards said hole with 9 cyan terracotta, so this will be left. You'll then head back with, we're going to call it 6. And then go left from that with, I want to say 9 black concrete. 8 black concrete. And then a cyan terracotta at the end. Actually, yeah, no, we're going to keep it a cyan terracotta. It's going to be a little bit weird later, but I'm not particularly concerned about that. So, instead of actually continuing from here, because I don't know if this number is the same as what I have originally, it might be one more, or it should be the same, but I'm not really sure. You want to head back to the left side here and take the cyan terracotta, or back to the doorway and take the cyan terracotta left of it and extend it down by 1 again. This time you're only heading back with 2 cyan terracotta. You're then extending left by 2. And then from there you're essentially connecting back with sideways. Well, do we want to do it that way? Yeah, you're connecting back with sideways polished basalt all the way to the other cyan terracotta row. You're then counting back to the 7th polished basalt, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is this one. And you are extending it left with 8 cyan terracotta. Then extend back 2. Left 3. And you should be able to connect perfectly back and connect to that cyan terracotta there. Just like so. Kind of a weird layout, but it'll make more sense later. So, everything to the right of this row of polished basalt, you're filling in the floor with monster spawners. In addition, well, actually, we'll get there in a second. I'm not going to hit you with both. Hopefully, everyone just have a good day or night. I am, for the most part. Sorry that was so rough with the numbers. I, wasn't planning on doing this immediately, so I didn't have the numbers, and I was like, nah, it'll be fine, but I probably should have gotten them. You win some, you lose some, I guess. You should have this. Cover the underside of every monster spawner here with a mangrove plank. You could alternatively do other blocks if you wanted, but because we already have the mangrove showing pretty much without choice, we might as well just make it all the same. I kind of was my logic here. What am I stuck on? Oh, the ceiling or the roof. Ceiling, roof, top, bottom, whatever. It's like all the same, except top and bottom are definitely not the same. Just pretend they are for a brief moment and we'll be fine. Anyway, you should have this. It isn't really noticeable, but like if you get down close enough, you can definitely see the texture. And I can also like find, yeah, here's the red terracotta. I found it. Boink. Anyway. This part's a little strange. You're gonna have to bear with me here. You want to take the left wall of cyan terracotta and extend this up with a row of stone. Now you're gonna go from essentially the back and head forward until you essentially hit the... You're going to end up going right and then forward again, and you'll stop there with the stone. You technically don't also need these 2 blocks to be stone, but we're going to make them stone anyway. All the other cyan terracottas are brought up with cyan terracottas on both the right and left. There's a little bit on the left, and then it's just the entire right side. Oh yeah, and this little point here at the front left, don't forget that. On top of the polished basalt, where you want to place a little bit of cyan terracotta. So if you take this row here at the like front left, you'll extend it right by 1 and then all the way forward. There's a couple ways we could do this. Well, first off, bring the black concrete up a row. That'll be helpful. We're going to do this in a weird way, but you're going to have to trust the process here. We're going to start from the hole here, and we're going to bring this hole essentially up, and then we're just going to fill around it from there. So if you take the... like strip mangrove at the back center of this hole, this one right here, you want to extend it up with 6 stone, and then have an upside down stone slab in front of it moving towards you. You're doing the same thing pretty much left and right of it, just the top is changed. So you're placing the 6 stone. On the right side it's a stone stair facing forward, on the left side it's a stone block. In front of the stone block here on the left, you'll place an upside down stone stair facing right, and then in front of that you'll have an upside down stone stair facing back. Just outside of all 3 of these blocks, you can actually just take the cyan terracotta here, and you'll just extend it down with stone until you hit the strip mangrove. On top of these 2 little mangrove, the upside down slab and the upside down stair, you'll just place stone slabs so you can't see them from the top. And then in front of that, you'll place another row of 6 stone, extending up from the strip mangrove. Right of the bottom stone, you'll place 2 stone slabs, and then another stone block. This stone block can be brought up by 5, and then in front of either of these slabs, you'll place rows of 6 stone extending up again. In front of the left, or I guess behind the left one rather, you'll place an upside down stone slab. From the furthest right row of stone you have, you'll place a row of stone back diagonally right by 1 that is also a row of 6. You could also bring it down by 1 so it covers that stair, but I'm not concerned about that. That's really a lighting thing. Extend this row of stone back a row, and then back diagonally left a row, and it should connect back to the kind of front. This final row of stone you placed, if you see this top block, you'll have a stone stair left of it. You also want a stone stair in front of it, but that one faces left rather than forward. And ironically, below each of those stone stairs, you'll trace them all the way down and place stone slabs here at the base. And that is this little hole done. Now, at the top of this, you should be able to just fill in the rest of the floor with stone in line with this, which is the bottom layer of the walls, just because of the monster spawners and stuff. And yeah, it should all work quite nicely. Hopefully. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I mean, I do make the rules, but... I made the build and I make the rules, definitely. If I say something about Minecraft, you have to follow it. Not really. Generally, I try to make a good advice, but maybe it doesn't work for you. And some advice isn't for everyone, you know. Anyway. So, from this point, you're going to take each cyan terracotta, or stone, really, on the left side there, and you're extending them up with... We're going to say 4 rows. Now... Some areas you will only need 3, but we're just going to do 4 anyway, and then build off of that row for the ceiling where we need it. Because the ceiling has 2 different heights going on. It's a little strange. This room is very particular. It's one of those rooms that I like had a struggle making because sometimes for certain rooms I just like was not mentally like in the spot to be thinking about certain details in it. So like I'd take the video clip, but I would miss like a corner or something, and I'd have to like use the peripherals of what I could see and just, you know, go from there. Also the black concrete you should extend up, by the way. But yeah, I was like, I just struggled at certain points. I think there was a pipe in this room or something that I had to do that with. You know. It's unfortunate, but I would be shocked if I got every detail right anyway. So, I'm sure there's always something you miss, right? High up in a room or something. Or like tucked in a corner, secretly. You should have this. As for the two different ceiling heights, it is actually fairly easy to pinpoint where this starts. So if you head back to the beginning of this room, the little doorway, you want to take the cyan terracotta to the left. And this just first row on the ceiling, you're going to extend this row of cyan terracotta all the way back with cyan terracotta. The little strip of 4 to the right of it is up another block. Everything left is in line with it. You're filling in the ceiling with cyan terracotta. This room has literally no texturing. I don't really know why. I guess it was one I just like completely overlooked because I was looking at like the main things. I remember I checked cart corridors, which I ended up texturing later, and like a couple other rooms, but this one kind of just slipped my mind apparently. But yeah, it's blocks that have pallets already, so just use them. Cyan terracotta will also come up in cart corridors with, I think, a different block palette. I'm not sure. So anyway, you should have this, and then again, the other 4 layers, you're filling a block above the rest. With still cyan terracotta. But yeah, I think it's like cobbled deep set instead of polished deep set. It's like a minor change to the palette. Anyway, you should have this. So, a couple minor things we can do here. Head back out to the doorway here, and on the right side, you're just filling the right 2 most rows of the doorway in with iron bars. You can then get rid of, I guess, your mangrove planks or whatever and get out stone brick walls. You just need the iron bars, that's it. And, ooh, that is... Speaking of weird, that was certainly a Minecraft ambiance sound. That one's like the creepy one. That also gave me Herobrine Lethal Company mod flashbacks. Anyway, you want to take the like back side of the hole and you'll count back an additional row. Behind this block, you should have 3 stone. That's just so you kind of have the basis of where we are. But you want to place from the left wall going right 2 iron bars, stone brick wall, iron bar, stone brick wall, 2 iron bars, and then you'll extend back by 2. And extend all this up to the ceiling. Yeah, for those of you who watch the Twitch streams, there was a Herobrine mod, and one of the sounds he would play when you looked at him was that one. They added like a bunch of the Minecraft ambiance in there. Definitely the scariest lethal mod I played with. You should have this. Not the top iron bar, but one down on like the back. Right here you'll connect into the wall. That'll be more important for later, but we might as well place it as we have the block. Anyway. You can now clear your inventory and get out. Andesite. Andesite stairs. Andesite slabs. Red nether brick slabs. Red nether brick walls. Mangrove fence. Oh, stone brick walls we do need again, so grab them. Dispensers have returned, apparently. And, if I could find them, there we go. You're gonna have to trust me with this step, at least. Palo trapdoors, it's a weird one, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. So head back to the front, and we're going to start with the right side, I guess. Yeah, right side. And you want to counter the second monster spawner back, you can actually put something on, because that wouldn't include the one with the iron bars. And you'll place an andesite stair facing forward. Behind it, an upside down andesite stair facing back. On top of that, andesite stair facing forward. Go back from this stair with 9 andesite. And then an upside down andesite stair facing back. Connect that stair up with andesite blocks, and you'll take, not the andesite just in front of it, but one more forward, and extend that one up with stone brick walls. On the back wall, you want to start from the bottom right cyan terracotta, and you'll place an upside down red nether brick slab off of it. Count up a block and do the same. Then count up 2 blocks and do the same again. Each of these upside down slabs you'll bring all the way left until you're at the corner of the wall, and then you'll essentially go back diagonally left and connect all the way back into the black concrete with it. This is where that 1 iron bar comes into place, because you'll see it kind of just is the only block that you don't have a slab interfering with. So you should end up with this. There's a lot of pipes like this in this room. That is just the beginning. Speaking of, you're going to do a similar thing on the left wall from the entrance. So, not this little, like, first wall here, but it's where the wall goes in a block. You're taking the bottom, well, all 3 rows but the bottom row of cyan terracotta, and you're placing red nether brick slabs off of them. And these you want to do the following with. So, you want to bring them back, and you're going to do the same thing where you go around the corner back diagonally left. But you want to stop 1 block away from where the wall comes out here with the stone at the base. Oopsies. Because you're covering this portion of the wall with andesite there. Just both rows, like so. I want to say that's a pillar of the wall, but I don't remember. It was a while ago this room was made. Head back to the front here, and the same area, you want to be on the bottom row of the wall, but you're going to be out a block from it, and you're placing going back from this cyan terracotta here 4 andesite. Place an upside down stair facing back behind it. And then go up with 2 andesite. Andesite stair facing forward. Back with an upside down andesite stair facing back. Back with 5 upside down slabs. Then you're going to go left. Back. Left by 3. Back. Left 3. Forward 1, and then you should connect left by what I believe is 5, and yes, that is correct. There's one more pipe on the ceiling like this, kind of, I guess not really a pipe, it's like a vent or something, alright, it might be a pipe, I'm not sure. From the, like, top right-hand corner of the wall, you're counting back by 2 and placing 2 andesite slabs moving back from here. You should be basically a half a block off the ceiling. You're going left 1, back by 4, left 1, back 1, left 1. And that is, I think, all of the pipes in the room that aren't the walls, yeah. So this is where it gets a little bit weird. You can actually get rid of your andesite and get out like red concrete, because it'll be important for one of these steps. And so you want to essentially kind of just follow the left wall until you reach the andesite here, and you're going to be a block beyond it. And just along the wall here, you're placing a full row of red nether brick walls floor to ceiling. You'll keep counting around the wall until you're on the actual left wall and on the second block back, and do the same thing here with red nether brick walls. Behind that, you're breaking the bottom cyan terracotta, and you're essentially, you can crawl through this hole or you can go around. I like elytra flying through it. And from the outside, you want to place a payload trap door open up against the, like, inside of that block. And I would crouch place a block off the outside of it just because of the lighting there. And then head back in, and it'll give you this. Off that payload trapdoor, you can crouch place a mangrove fence. Here, let me actually do it this way instead. There we go. And then place a mangrove fence below it. Going, I guess, right from it towards that fence there, you're placing a full row of dispensers floor to ceiling. And then off the top 2 dispensers, you're placing mangrove fence to the right. Leave a gap of 1 below those. Place a like red concrete on the floor with a payload trapdoor open up against it like so. Count all the way right until you're against the iron bars here, where you'll place a row of red nether brick walls going floor to ceiling. Left of it a row of mangrove fence, and then left of that a row of red nether brick walls. You want to trace each of these down through this like row of stone below it, and you're going to place 3 of each of their respective materials going just below the stone like so. So it's nether brick wall, red nether brick walls, or a mangrove fence like so. It does kind of look weird with the stairs because it clips out like a couple pixels, but that's not particularly something you can change. And I think it's fine. It's not something that I'm gonna think about at 3 AM being like, why? You know, I mean, at least hopefully not. Maybe I might, you never know. I feel like that would be the type of Minecraft thing to haunt my dreams, if anything from Minecraft that I built would. Anyway, you want to clear your inventory and get out sea lanterns, Glow item frames. Hay bales. These are going to be really annoying to place. I am warning you immediately. Spruce trapdoors. Bamboo trapdoors. Pale oak fence gates. Polished tough slabs, which we're going to use for blocks as well, just because it's not many. Strip birch logs. Whoopsies, I don't know why I opened the stone category for that. And that should be everything. That should finish the room, but I could be wrong. I am wrong. Yeah, we're gonna go... There's a singular sea turtle egg. Where are sea turtle eggs? They're in nature, right? Yeah, they're right here. Oh, they're just called turtle eggs. Cringe, whatever. So... Do we want to start from where we are? Yeah, I think we do. So... From the mangrove fence, like off the right of the dispensers, you want to count right an additional one on the ceiling to this cyan terracotta. Count towards you by 3, break this one, replace it with a sea lantern with a glow item frame off the underside. Is there one more or 2 more lights? There is one more, I think, unless there's one behind. No, there's not. So if you head to the like front right of the room where we started, above the andesite stair here, this one that's at, eye level, it'll be the 3rd cyan terracotta up you're breaking, replacing with a sea lantern glow item from off the inside. I do really like the way this light design works. It looks really weird without night vision though, because like the glow of the item frame almost makes it look like the moonlight in the game. It's strange. Anyway, head back to the dispensers, and we're going to look at this wall as if, that's the back or whatever, and you want to count towards you from it by 2 to this stone, and you want to break 3 extending towards you. Break a row of 3 to the right of it that is shifted forward a block. Oh my god. Why? It's fine. And then you want to break the middle of each of these rows of 3 off these sides, an additional 1. You have to fill this in with hay bales that all face upward. I would go about doing this by just using whatever block. It could also be hay bales, and just placing it a block under, and then on top just placing your hay bales from there. I hate placing hay bales, but I texture with them a lot because they have like a really good texture for yellow concrete or terracotta. Terracotta looks weird with sometimes, but anyway. On top of the backmost hay bale, you'll place 2 pale oak fence gates on top of each other. You'll have to crouch place again. And they should be facing kind of left to right like so. So if you look at the dispensers from them, it'll like almost look like the dispensers are shooting them out. Off the thin sides of the pale oak fence gate, you'll again crouch place bamboo trapdoors open up against the sides of them, and also crouch place one on top. That is just kind of there. Heading to the left a little bit to this andesite, from the bottom right andesite, you will count towards you by 3 and place 2 strip birch logs moving up from there that face upwards. In front of the bottom one, you want another upward facing one, and right of the bottom one, you want another one facing forward. You can direct your attention back to where this would be the fronty doorway, and you'll head just straight back from it to the kind of back right-hand corner. You don't want to be on the very corner monster spawner, you want to be like 1 forward. From this, you'll count left by 2, place a polished tuff. Left 1, upward facing strip birch. Count left 2, and on the final monster spawner, you'll place a polished tuff again. I didn't, but I would probably recommend bringing these down into the monster spawners, like with all of the pipes. I never considered that. At least the ones that go down, like this one here, the andesite one here at the front right, and these 2. Extend each polished tuff block up by 1, and then go up diagonally back with a slab. From the strip birch log, you'll place another one forward diagonally right. From that one, you'll count forward 2, or forward 1 and left 2, excuse me, and you'll place 3 spruce trapdoors extending forward. The middle one, you'll extend left and right by 1. Head forward again, and the front left-hand monster spawner here, you'll place a singular turtle egg on. Just don't step on it, because it'll do that. I'm sure if you guys have been watching the streams where I've been building this, whenever I show this part, I always step on it. I don't know why, I just kind of do. Anyway, you can clear your inventory now and get out the following. Pale oak fence, and oak trapdoors. That's pretty much all you need to finish this room, unless I'm missing something. So just to the right of this the leftmost polished tuff pipe, you're placing a row of pale oak fence that extends all the way up. you can leave this room and just kind of in front of the sea turtle egg, you'll place an oak trapdoor with one to the right. So let's kind of try to like fix up what we've done here that was a little bit wrong. It wasn't exactly like we don't have to break anything wrong. It's just making sure that our numbers and stuff are correct as to where we have them. Because there's a couple of situations I believe where they aren't. But you want to start by getting out polished basalt, excuse me, not tough. Monster spawners and black concrete should be everything we'll need. I guess just because we can get out polished blackstone buttons, polished deep slate stairs, polished deep slate slabs, and oak slabs. Unrelated, but there's something like on my dresser. Like I have a little lanyard hanging there, and it keeps hitting up against like the drawer, and it's really bothering me because I can hear it. Anyway, you want to take the top row of the walls, and off the left and right, you're placing like rows of sideways polished basalt just going across. You're going to stop 4 beyond this front left-hand pillar here, this one. Now, on the other side, you just want to trace it to the same point, and I would recommend making that last one upward facing, but that is entirely up to you. It'll just be better to do that, I think. You should have this. From that front one, you're just going up diagonally forward with polished basalt that are upward facing. And essentially you're just keeping going until, I want to say until you're just at the end. I don't think this flattens off at any point. Yeah, it doesn't. And so it should be off the top cyan terracottas or walls or whatever. Now where you have it cobbled deep slate walls, I would break the top wall and replace it with a polished basalt. The rest, it doesn't matter. But just for the walls, so it kind of... I guess cuts them off. And yeah. Not too bad of a step, I think. A little bit annoying, but yeah. So that is what I meant. Like, technically I did it wrong, but I wasn't really too concerned about getting it perfectly. I just wanted to make sure that the walls were at least high enough. And they were pretty much where I wanted them, to where they weren't too high, but they also weren't too low either. Because we are just placing off of the blocks, which... I guess it requires a little bit of breaking for the walls, but it is fine. You should have this. Now, it would be advised you bring each polished basalt up by 1, specifically on the diagonals. So, like, you're going to start from here, bring this one up, and essentially you're just going to keep going with that. What happened there? How did that even happen? You know what? I don't want to know. But just these outer ones here, or I guess inner ones, rather. And I'm going to stop once I essentially flatten off there. You don't need to bring that row up, I don't believe. I think that sits flat, if I remember correctly. I just looked at it 15 seconds ago. I already forgot. But yeah, you should have this. In line with each of the pillars, you are connecting the polished basalt together on that top row of polished basalt, which would be here, 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 etc. Just going across. And yeah, it is 1 row at the bottom here. So essentially once you hit, I guess it would be this first pillar. It won't connect to anything, but it will just connect across to the lack of a pillar. And yeah, it should look like this. In line with, yet again, the top polished basalt, you're filling them all in with monster spawners, going just right to the end. And so it'll just be kind of flat here at the bottom. And again, once you hit 3 rows towards the, I guess, incline, you'll start sloping up. And you'll just pretty much go every other, or like diagonally up every row. Just make sure you skip where the polished basalt is, because we don't need to do all that. That's a lot of extra work, you know. And does the top, I want to say the top is just still monster spawners. I don't think, okay, no, the top is actually polished basalt. A row here, but that's up to you if you want that to be monster spawners or basalt. I just have it basalt so you don't see the like light gray and stuff through. Actually, I don't think there's anything there. Yeah, no, that's in line with the ceiling. You can see ceiling of this area is here. From the top of the monster spawners, you're just covering them all up with black concrete. Essentially, it's just a perfect diagonal at the top here, and then just flat along the bottom is, you know, it has been, I guess. And yeah, not particularly insane, but... yeah, hopefully this little area will be done, and then we'll just have cart corridors left. which will, I think, take 2 parts. But I could also push it to 1 because it isn't like a huge area. It's like that weird size to where it's gonna take longer than a part, but shorter than 2. Anyway, you should end up with this. Nice. Might be logical to fill in the black concrete here at the, like, end. And then we can do the torches and stuff. We're pretty much almost there. So, I would kind of head to the underside here and look back towards the rails. And I would take the stone into the side and extend it out a block so it's under the cyan terracotta. Not on that row of stone, but kind of in a row. I'm going to place 4 rows of black concrete extending down just from each of them. Which will be the full row of what should be 7 now. I'll then essentially do the same thing with the cyan terracotta walls, except instead of being 5 down, it'll just go to the same height down, basically, as the other black. But, yeah, you're just gotta make sure you stay outside of it all by 1 block. And then again, I'll do the same over here. This is kind of weird, but... like so. I'll then make sure I fill in the back with black concrete, or I guess the end of it in with black concrete. Just like all the way up, and obviously make sure I cover off the monster spawners here as well. It's so awkward to place because of the freaking slide here. And then I'll just fill in the floor with black concrete a block below everything I placed. And that's pretty much the black box that you have. It's weird. You can, like, definitely see it. Which is generally not something you can do. You generally don't see it. But here I did, and you can. But yeah, it should look like this. It's just kind of a weird, abrupt cutoff. I don't know. Either way, you can take the polished stairs at the bottom here for the little rail path, and you can just extend them all the way, like, out with polished deep slate stairs facing away from each other until you're 1 further than the stone. From there, you'll place a polished deep slate slab, go down with an upside down slab, and then from the upside down slab, you'll go out with a polished deep slate stairs facing away from each other, which you'll probably need a placeholder for. Nice. You should have an oak slab here between the, like, first set of slabs, and after that, at just every other block, you're placing a slab between these stairs. And you should, for the 2 slabs, you're connecting the upside down slabs together with an upside down oak slab. Just to kind of make it look like it is curving down a bit, at least. As for the polished black stone buttons, this part's a little weird. Now, I would place the polished blackstone buttons off of the, like... We're going to call the entrance to this the front, so the black concrete be the back. I'm going to place it off the back side of each of the 1 diagonals of polished basalt, just like this, which includes the bottom of these pillars here. And I'll go from there. I essentially wanted to make it both, because this one is more visible from both sides, rather than the, I guess, other 2, because there is 1 more in cart corridors. But yeah, just like so. And then, with that in mind, I'm doing it off the front side of each pillar, which you're just going to have to leave the bottom block open, which is fine. And I think I just kind of, I left the top open. There's nothing going on with the top diagonals. You can put buttons on them if you want, I just didn't. But again, you'll have to just skip the bottom. That is a-okay. A couple of these we'll have to break later when we do the redstone torches, just so we can actually place the torches. But I'm not going to be like, here, you want this one particularly gone, and we'll just get there when we get there. But yeah. And then these ones down here are nice because you don't actually have to worry about anything. You could do both sides if you wanted. Again, I didn't. And I can't do the bottom one there because I don't draft door. That's fine. If you have an obstruction, just, like, ignore it, to be honest. Like, just don't place a button. There are, I want to say 2 things we need. Yeah. So you want to clear your inventory and get out spruce slabs and redstone torches, and that should finish off this area. We will start with the redstone torches first, though. From the bottom here, of course I just, like, went to the other side. From the bottom here, there's really none. Well, actually, there's one. We're going to look back towards the front, and we're going to look at the left side here. You should have the doorway on the left into the end room, but just before it, you're taking the Not the top cyan terracotta, but one down, and placing a redstone torch here just in front of the pillar like so. From there, you're just going to kind of go back until you have two pillars one block apart from each other, and you'll be on the third cyan terracotta from the top. And again, make sure you break the button in the way. You'll place a redstone torch there. Next one is just on the right side. It's the middle row of cobbled, or I guess the front row of cobbled deep say rather, out of these two. And again, it's the third one down. You're placing a redstone torch. The next one is on the left on the next cobbled deep set. Again, it's the first row of blocks. Here, close to the top, you'll have a redstone torch on the third down. And then that's all. Head back down, and where you have the redstone torch on the left side here, it was the right one we placed it, but now it's the left. This one on the cobbled deep set. Just behind it, you're placing an upside down spruce slab off this block, and again, you'll need to replace or you'll have to break the button. Right of that, or kind of down diagonally, you'll place two spruce slabs. And then you'll go up diagonally right by two. And again, you'll have to break buttons. When I'm saying the diagonals, I'm not really specifying upside down and right side up, because that's just going to make it more confusing. Out of this row of two, you'll bring the right slab down with a slab. And then you're going both down diagonally and left and right by one. You're then extending either of those slabs out by one, again breaking the buttons, and you'll bring them up with a slab, which should turn those into planks. From the slab here on the right, not the plank, but the slab left of it, you're bringing it down with the slab. Left with a slab. Down. That's definitely not down. Right, I might have to do this weirdly. Hold on. And then you'll go left, down, and then left, down again. And it should give you this. From the, like, plank here on the far right, you're just going to below it place a slab. You should have a half a block gap between you and it. And again, you're going to have to break the button. Should look like this. This allows you to actually go down here on the right side and kind of sneak under. Alright, I don't think you have to actually crouch. No, you do have to crouch. You have to crouch going down, but not up. I never understand that with Minecraft. I guess because of the way you have to, like, pass that and then go down rather than just staying tight to it. Oh, is it only if you run? It's only if you run, apparently. That's so weird. Whatever. That's the pathway done anyway. I'm not going to try to think about that too much more before it breaks my brain. So, yeah. I honestly feel like that's a good point to end. Now, we are a little bit short of normal time, but I don't see the point in starting cart corridors just to do it for, 5 minutes. So yeah, once you're done, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 35 of Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 complete. I don't know, I've lost track. We're literally already almost done again. I think we're 2 parts out from finishing this, because I don't think cart corridors is going to be done in one, which is honestly pretty good. I'm happy with that. A nice short segment, which is, right now, again, this is part 5 of it, so it'll be 7 parts, I'm going to assume. But yeah, thank you all so much, guys, did enjoy this video. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.